Hello and welcome to another episode of Kia Electric News. In case you missed it, this week I did a video on the Kia NFC card key digital key option. Some viewers commented, why would you want this when it just works on my phone? Well, it doesn't work on mine, and that's a new phone. That's the whole point of the video. If you look at the phone handset market share in the UK, Apple is 48%, Samsung 32%, Google 5%. That leaves the rest 15% unsupported in the UK. In the EU, Apple is 34%, Samsung 33%, and Xiaomi 11%, and that leaves a massive 33% of all handsets not supported by Kia phone digital keys. Worldwide also has a very mixed picture of phone support and who actually buys what. So Apple and Samsung phones account for 50% of the market, leaving 50% with no digital key support at all. This is not good Kia, so I don't know. In the comments, some suggested that it may be possible to use a cheaper non-Kia NFC key card, but I'm afraid this is not possible since the Kia card implementation uses some proprietary technology to handle the card setup. I used a Google app called TagInfo to pull information off the key and compared it with my Kia charge card. Whilst they have the same chip, they differ in the amount of memory they have. The Kia NFC also has an unknown package installed on it. This may be to protect the data on the key. I did a test creating my NFC key using the Kia charge card, but it fails to complete the setup. So I think it's protected in some way, deliberately. Also, the Kia NFC key is serialized. This week I've seen several reports that Kia Connect Online manual links are now broken, but if you look at them on the new Kia app, they work. So I think they're trying to tell us something and to move to the new one. Here is a link to my video on the new Kia app. Just search for Kia app on the app stores. On the subject of maps and infotainment, there are still no manual downloads of EU Kia Gen 5W maps for the EV6 and other EVs. Meanwhile, on the Hyundai EU side, it still says May for Gen 5W for Ioniq 5 and 6. I think it's safe to say that we've now run out of May, so what's taking so long? On the subject of maps and infotainment, something I missed back in April on the Korean maps site was the fact that the new maps were operating from a constantly updated online database where it cached the maps for your set route and surrounding areas and would fall back to offline maps if the phone signal was lost. This is new and quite a big step, so it's almost Google-like, but no news on whether these will be Google source maps though, so there's no Google logo on the screen in the images in the release notes, so who knows, maybe that's coming to us. Maybe why it's taking so long for the new updates to come. I can only speculate. Korean car blog and Auto Evolution this week both report that production-ready Kia EV2 has been spied in Germany. Previewed by Concept in February 2025, the forthcoming EV2 has been recently spied in Germany with production headlights and taillights. Longer than the Hyundai Insta, the zero-emission crossover from Kia adopts the design language of the utterly massive EV9 three-row SUV. Equipped on 5-bolt hubs and wheels rather than the 4 of the Insta's case, the boxy-looking EV2 appears to be very similar in exterior styling to the Concept. While it may give Soul EV vibes when admired from the sides, the EV2 is that little bit shorter because the Soul EV already has a direct successor in the form of the EV3. Pictured on Cumno extra low rolling resistance tyres, the latest EV2 prototype snapped by the car paparazzi features rear disc brakes. Now some Kia EV3 news. I've been closely monitoring the situation on the EV3 with ICCU failures. I don't actually come across that many cases on social media, but those that have had the failure once tend to get the failure again. One driver on Facebook, as in this image, is now on his 4th failure. I've also seen some that have 2 or 3 failures, one after another, each time after having it changed. There is strong evidence that some home charging setups are the cause of this, and with one theory that I've read is that it's caused by overvoltage being supplied on some substations, causing voltage to be supplied outside the range of 220 to 240 volts. I don't know if this is true, but it's an interesting idea. This week, Top Gear YouTube put out its Kia EV3 3,000 kilometre road trip video. They drove across the whole of the Australian continent. It was more of a challenge for charging infrastructure than the car though. This is well worth a watch if you've got the time to watch it. Now some EV4 news. Korean car blog reports that the EV4 will start production in the Kia Slovakia plant in the EU from August. These will be produced for the EU market. This week, InsideEVs also reports that Kia has officially confirmed that there will be an all-wheel drive full GT version as well, but I've only seen that in InsideEVs report. In the UK, more dates have appeared for the Kia EV4 and EV5 Roadshow's website, but you can't quite book them yet. I can see that my local one at Acorn Kia Burntwood in September clashes with my holiday again, so it looks like I'll have to go elsewhere for the second year running. Sod's law. YouTube channel Scene Korea has produced this walk-around comparison video of the Kia EV4 sedan versus the Ioniq 6, if you're interested. Now some Niro news. It would seem that a facelift Kia Niro is on its way, but will there be an EV version? Here are a few spy images from the Korean car blog. These are for the combustion engine model. It's not yet fully clear if a Niro EV version of this facelifted model will ever see the light of day. The new model leans in the direction of the EV3 with star map lighting patterns and will also likely have CCNC head unit like all of the recent Kia models. Here are two renderings based on the latest spy shots. The first was produced by Gotcha Cars, which was shown up in Korean car blog, and the second by MY Mammoth, which I found on YouTube. According to website T3, video streaming is coming to Android Auto. Excellent news. As confirmed by an official Google blog, as well as Gemini support, the future Android 16 update will introduce the ability to watch videos in your car, as long as you're parked. The Google blog says you can look forward to more updates later this year, including video apps will be supported on Android Auto, starting with phones running Android 16. Well, mine's on 15, but hopefully I'll get an upgrade to 16 on select compatible cars. If your app is already adaptive, enabling your app experience while parked only requires minimal steps to distribute to cars. In the UK, Kia has announced PBV centre locations and commercial vehicle partners. That's the PV5 van. Well, the first model is anyway. Kia UK is proud to announce national PBV centre locations and partners where sales and after-sales services for its PBV commercial vehicle range will exclusively be available. The new PBV centre network spearheads the launch of the brand's professional business vans in the UK and is being built from the ground up to meet the needs of commercial vehicle operators and drivers. Kia PBV centres are planned to be fully operational by late 2025, coinciding with the first UK deliveries of the Kia PV5. Partners have been selected for their expertise and ability to best serve commercial vehicle customers, with many already supporting Kia's own fleet and business customers or serving commercial vehicle customers at multi-brand commercial vehicle sites. Every PBV centre will be equipped with its own dedicated facilities and specialist resources to support customers quickly and efficiently. This includes a sales area with display units, a service reception dedicated workshop with high capacity vehicle ramps, specialist Kia equipment and tools, and of course a supporting team of staff including sales, dedicated technicians and a service advisor. Kia's first fully electric commercial vehicle, the PV5, will exclusively be available from PBV centres. This includes a passenger version, which I'm interested in. Sales of the PV5 began on May the 1st, 2025 during the UK debut at the CV show when UK pricing and specifications were first announced. Kia America has announced 2026 EV9 pricing. I think this will be for the US built ones, as far as I know. Prices are mostly reduced compared to last year, which is really good news. I've also used this electric article comparison table so you can see what's changed. But first, some trim updates. There's a new Nightfall edition, which I've mentioned before, available on the land trim. It has design and performance enhancements, exclusive 20-inch gloss black wheels, black badging and gloss black trim, new Road Rider brown exclusive exterior colour, exclusive interior seat stitching pattern and design elements, offered with both 6-passenger and 7-passenger seating configurations at no extra cost. All all-wheel drive trims win Land GT Line Gain Terrain Mode, Mud, Snow, Sand, which replaces 4-wheel drive mode. 2026 GT Line gains 2 new two-tone exterior colour options, which is Glacial White Pearl with Ebony Black roof and Wolf Grey with Ebony Black roof. The prices are as follows. The light standard range is the same price at $54,900. The light long range is $57,900, which is a $2,000 saving. The wind is $63,900, which is the same price. The land is $68,900, which is a $1,000 saving. The GT line is $71,900, which is a $2,000 saving. Now some Ioniq 9 news. The US built Hyundai Ioniq 9 as its very first TSB software update. This is to address a problem with the shift-by-wire system. Details as follows. Certain MY26 vehicles may have diagnostic trouble code, or DTC, C138201, lever hole sensor fault set in the system that may result in the vehicle being stuck in park. The system is also known as shift-by-wire unit. At the moment, this update has to be carried out by your dealer. This sounds very similar to EV9 shift-by-wire update that came out in the EU in April and was installed via over-the-air updates, and is also linked to the Canadian issues we had at the start of the year. Thanks for Ioniq Guy for the heads up on that. And finally, Korea Herald reports that Hyundai Mobis on Thursday announced the opening of a 97 billion won or $70.1 million logistics centre in Gwangju, North Gyeongsang province, as the auto parts maker under Hyundai Motor Group looks to improve its supply chain for the maintenance and repair works. Covering 81,000 square metres in ground space, the new logistics centre will handle some 175,000 auto parts for 152 models of Hyundai, Kia and Genesis vehicles. Hyundai Mobis said the new facility can deliver about 14,000 auto parts each day. I think this is well overdue and will hopefully speed up the process of getting new ICCUs and other spare parts around the world quicker than they have been. I know people are still struggling to get their replaced ICCUs in the UK despite them having deliveries a few weeks back, but they need to do better. Anyway, that's all for this week. Please note that due to holidays there will not be any new episodes of Kia Electric News until Sunday the 22nd of June. There will be some new episodes I pre-recorded during my time away though, so they will be appearing. If anything big crops up, I will do special episodes. As usual, links to all stories and videos can be found in the show notes in the video description. Thanks for all the comments, likes and subscribes. Welcome to new channel members Alberto Perojo and Ewan Pearson. A massive thanks to all my channel members for your invaluable financial support. Thank you for watching.